The Oasis way of life is part of a vision that comes from Mary as the mother of the world. And she wishes to let people understand that life is really all about love. It's a simple way, yet it believes that love is very powerful. And if people as individuals discover the way that they can use their own love to unite with God, then they can actually build up a strength in themselves that lets them live life fully and happily, peacefully and freely. Mary promises that this can happen and will happen if people really do begin to use their daily life with a loving motivation at the source. She offers some practical help too, to show people that this is a viable proposition, not an airy-fairy idealism that is based on fantasy. She sets out the pattern of the day to allow people to follow the way that suits them best. But she stresses that too much activity, either physical or mental, creates an imbalance that doesn't allow the individual to use his life fully and positively, so developing an energy that he can use productively each day. She asks people who are really interested in this Oasis way of life to begin by assessing what they think they need in life to be really happy. She would suggest that in order to do this honestly, people should resolve that they will let their prayerful state lead the way. So, they need to begin by giving themselves a regular space in their day to try to link up with the facet of themselves that can tap into God's guidance quite easily and clearly. This is a difficult thing to begin with because we're not too used to being still and quiet and reflective. But in order to touch on the depth of ourselves and find true answers, we have to use this stillness in a very real way. We have to connect with our soul by quieting the mind and the body, and by trying to achieve a mood of lightness, unclutteredness, almost emptiness. We need to empty ourselves from everything that gets in the way of this relationship with God. And then we really do need to want Him to come into this space so that we can feel near Him and He can feel near us in a true way. So then we can listen to His guidance and appreciate that His wisdom is much more fruitful than our own. We can then make a true assessment of what God thinks is necessary for us as individuals, and we can begin to plan our life accordingly. Mary suggests that the physical side of our nature needs to be active as well as still, so that it can begin to truly appreciate its adaptability and strength in all sorts of situations. To do this, she suggests that exercise in terms of physical development should be a natural part of the day, and this can be organized as part of work or leisure, depending on the situation. She also believes that each individual has the ability to use his physical strength to offer other people a simple enlightenment, so that people seeing this strength realize that it's revealing a natural vitality that is a picture of lightness, brightness, vivacity, colour, so that the personality of the individual enhances his physical appearance and vice versa. And the picture offered is one of buoyancy, resilience, a deep love of life, living, everyone and everything. The spiritual expression of this will simply offer itself in this way, because as the individual develops a vitality and strength that is organized through his communion with God, then this portrays itself in a new way that is multifaceted and conveys such a sense of lightness that people seeing this are able to assess this picture in an enlightened way if they're open and loving. The very nature of this way of life demands a discipline, and so the individual needs to feel organized in his philosophy to such an extent that the very way he uses his material possessions is showing God that they are important to him only insofar as they can be used to offer other people a sense of security. In this way, the individual seeks no material security for himself other than a basic appreciation of what is necessary, and then he uses what he possesses to let it be functional in his daily life as a further communication with life in general. He doesn't want to selfishly separate his possessions and goods from his desire to love God and other people. So he uses his life with this root motive drive and provides himself with a sense of security that is based on an understanding of God's providence and a real reliance on this to give him what he needs as he needs it, to use this in the most productive way. What a real dependence on God this is, and what a real motivation people need to simplify their life to this extent, so that God can use it productively to help restore the world to a stability, security, equality, peace and freedom where everyone benefits. Mary, however, says that God now accepts this as the only true way, and she asks those interested to use their own life in this way to the best of their ability, drawing on God's strength, grace, the power of the Holy Spirit to encourage, motivate, enlighten, and inspire. Now, please, for a moment, give yourself space to reflect on these thoughts. To do this, you need to go deeper, deeper into the stillness. So just go deeper now. Feel your mind slowing down, emptying itself, becoming lighter and lighter. Your body too is growing lighter, and it feels very, very soft and easy and relaxed. So just let yourself go. Let go and feel yourself floating in the lightness. You're floating in the lightness And you're breathing very deeply and gently and easily. Easily and rhythmically. And you're listening now with the heart to the thoughts that you have just heard.